Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Jake Tucker. Hopefully you knew that already, but if you're tuning in today for the very first time, welcome. If you're watching this after the live stream, also welcome in. What we're going to be talking about tonight are some of the detrimental postures that you have just from working from home at your work desk. So let me adjust the camera because what we're dealing with when we're talking about working from home or working from a laptop is everything that's happening in this region of your spine. Now, once COVID happened and a lot of you got sent home with laptops, you went from working at a desk with a computer, ideally in the correct position with the middle of the screen directly in your line of sight when you're sitting upright. This actually encourages you subliminally to actually engage your posture and sit up to the level of your screen. If that screen is not at the level of your eyes, you shrink down to it. When it's in the center, that's what's going to attract your posture subliminally. And you can do the same thing with your rear view mirror if you're a driver. If you have your mirror tilted down, you're going to slump down to see out the back of your rear view. If you have it tilted up, you'll actually elongate your spine to come up to where that mirror is so that you can begin to fight against that posture. So that's one of those tricks that I do anytime I'm on a road trip is I take that rear view mirror and I tilt it up. So I have to stretch my spine in order to see out the back. And that's a great trick to do anytime you're using the car for long periods of time, but also with your computer. Now, the problem has become that we're using these laptops, and these laptops, they sit in front of us on the table. And so we've hunched way down in here. Now, if you look at me from the side, when I hunch down, my head comes forward and I start bringing my shoulders up to work on this. As that happens, it actually tightens up these suboccipital muscles. And over time, this retrains the muscles, ligaments, and tendons in my spine to hold this is the normal position so that even when I come up, my head is still stuck forward from my shoulders. And I get this stressed tension across those shoulders. And what we know from the research is that people that have these stress postures actually have increased tension on their central nervous system, specifically the sympathetic nerves that branch out about here at the base of the neck and branch out to your heart and to your lungs. This decreases lung capacity and increases stress on the control mechanism for blood pressure. So blood pressure increases, but even more than that, your risk of a cardiovascular event goes up by over 50% compared to your peer group. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that you have the ideal posture. So number one tip that I can give you for working from home on a laptop is don't. Get a desktop, get work access from your desktop. Second tip I can give you is if you can't get a desktop, buy a separate monitor. Get a monitor that you can bring up while also keeping the keyboard down. And when you do that, it's actually going to allow you to come up. And remember, that monitor should be in the center of your eye line. The center of the monitor should be in the center of your eye line so that your spine comes up. The third tip that I can give you is to get a standing desk. There's a lot of everywhere from inexpensive at-home working options to very expensive standing options. And I would prefer that standing desk not to be a permanent position for you to work from because even standing for long periods of time can add stress to your spine, but an option for you to do anytime that you've been in a posture for more than 30 minutes, to actually switch between that every 30 minutes, at minimum taking a break every 30 to 45 minutes to do things like go get a drink of water or use the restroom or stand up to make a phone call, because it's when we're stuck in the seated position that we actually see the most detrimental effects. And the fourth thing that I can tell you is that there are some exercises that we can do to combat this. And so one of my favorite exercises is our cervical flexion exercise. So when you're stuck in this position and these muscles have tightened up and they have all locked down and it's starting to affect these cardiovascular and respiratory centers, one of the best things that you can do is actually bring your head and your chin backwards. Now, this is good in and of itself, but to accentuate this further, we add a weight to the front of your head, and this opens up that space at the back of your skull additionally. And when you do that and you hold that for 10 to 60 seconds at a time, that begins to retrain the muscles, ligaments, and tendons to hold that backwards. Now, for some of you, that may be painful. That motion of bringing that back, that pain is actually a sign that some of those joints in the back of your neck are restricted, are subluxated, and that's actually decreasing the ability of your brain to communicate through those nervous system pathways. If that's painful, it does require a spinal correction specialist to be able to go in there, a chiropractor, to be able to go in there and identify which of those joints are out of alignment and how they need to be moved back into alignment. You can call our office at 531-289-7100 in order to set up an evaluation, or you can go to our website there, goodlifefamilychiropractic.com, and we can absolutely help you out with that. Now, some of you also have an additional posture. You're right-handed, you're constantly looking down to the side to work on the next project or whatever, and you've developed kind of this type of lean with your posture where your head's up and to the side, but one shoulder is higher than the other. And what we need to do there is we actually need to mirror image that and begin to straighten that up. And that requires forcing that back into that mirrored posture. And so you can do some neuromuscular retraining exercises just by watching yourself in the mirror, bringing yourself back to neutral, and then accentuating that compensation type posture, and then just doing some basic movements. Something as simple as just locking the core in place and bending forward at the waist, or bending backwards at the waist, or standing up or sitting down from that posture can actually help to alleviate it. If you can tell that your head's cocked over to one side like this, and maybe comes up a little bit this way, you can even come in the other way and put a little gentle pressure against the side of your head and hold that, and that'll stretch out and strengthen the muscles on the other side. So those are just some beginning tips on how to do this. We do so much more for our patients in our office. Our office has not shut down during COVID, other than when my son was exposed and his daycare shut down for a week. But other than that, we've been here, we've been taking care of patients, and we're here to help you as well. If you have any questions, call or text 531-289-7100 or leave your comment below. If you know someone that needs to see this, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this video with them. For me in my office, have a great night, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.